So this morning I want to talk about something that I see a lot on social media when people are trying to kind of like make fun of the fact that we use letters in math. And so I want to talk a little bit about what those are and why we do that. Well, first off, one of the things I tell my students all the time is that math is pattern recognition. Like everything that we build in math, all those formulas, everything that we're teaching you is based off of constructs where people have recognized patterns and found ways to represent them. And so, you know, something like the equation for a line in algebra, right? Y equals mx plus b. That's all letters. Why is it letters? Well, because somebody recognized a pattern that represents a line. And so x and y are variables. They could represent any value. Basically, every value that exists could be x, and there would be a y value that comes out of it. And for the m and the b, those are what we would call parameters, because they're values that are fixed for the specific line, but the m and the b are a general representation for how we would define those numbers in the context of a line. So the form, right, x and y are variables because the values of them can vary to be anything. And you would do multiple values for x, not just one. Whereas for the m and the b, there's only going to be one m and one b in that equation for a specific line. And it's going to have this range of x's and y's that it cut me off. So the range of x's and y's that will lead to what becomes visibly in our Cartesian plane as a line, right? And so I really just wanted to touch on it because it's something that I think a lot of people struggle with, particularly when you enter an algebra class where you're like, what the heck is happening here? It's pattern recognition. Somebody recognized a pattern and found a way to represent it generally. And because we're representing it generally and not for some very specific case, like your water bill or something, it has to be represented using values that aren't numbers anymore. Like they represent where numbers will go, but they don't represent specific numbers when you're talking about something that is generally representing a pattern that we see. So there's my, I guess, insights for the day on why we use parameters and variables in math, why we use letters at all.